vids, 090 back here with another video today. And today this is my Indigenous All-Stars vs Maori All-Stars review on the game tonight. So obviously there was no winner. It was just a draw, a 10-all draw, very entertaining game, but full of errors, and which was only downfall of the game, really, all the errors and all that. But overall, pretty entertaining game, a lot of big hits, a bit of niggling fights and all that. So it had everything almost, the game, and had all the conditions. It was raining at one point, and then it was just really hot to start, hot conditions in Townsville, and raining at one point. So it had everything that game. But not a bad game, and we're getting to my review right now. But before I start, I'm really sorry. I apologize to everyone about the live stream I was supposed to do, because I was supposed to do a live reaction to the game, and obviously my fucking audio kept playing up, and I got obviously after a while I got pissed off because it kept on not working, the audio for my live stream. So I really apologise for that, and hopefully next Sunday when Manly play Tigers, that trial match, I get that all sorted. So that's been the next live stream there. But let's get into the review. So at the start, there was always all these errors. It wasn't a really great quarter because there was quarters in the game, and there was 4 of them. The first quarter, which went for 20 minutes, wasn't that great. It was full of errors, I thought that at the start, Latrell Mitchell had a really poor start. I thought he really did not adjust himself to the game well at the start. I think he was a bit quiet. I mean, later in the game, though, Latrell Mitchell played well. I think he was definitely improved by then. But at the start, he was definitely a mess, Latrell. He didn't do well enough, if I'm being honest there. So, yeah, Latrell didn't do much there. Then Cody Walker, I think Cody Walker didn't really have the best game for a captain. I think, he's a great player, Cody Walker, don't get me wrong. But at most of the time during the game, I think the anger got the best of him, because he obviously had a couple of fights on the Maori boys, like Jackson Tapine, and I think... well, he got into a couple of fights, Cody Walker, so that was only downfall of his night. Obviously for Indigenous, I think that Kay Cust actually had some alright runs at playing hooker. I think Kay Cust controlled the game pretty well at hooker. His defence was pretty good during the middle, and I think he did alright. Kay Cust at hooker seems to had filled in well there. I think guys like Andrew Fafita who's a lot fitter now. Andrew Fafita played really well, I thought. I think he looks way more better as a player himself. Him as a person player, he looks better with losing all that weight. So and he had to, because obviously the game's now fast now. He was really struggling last year with all that weight, and for him to lose that much is a big achievement. So I've got to say well done to Andrew Fafita for losing all that weight, because he had a great game, I thought. Look, in the first quarter, it was all messy. I can't really say much about the first quarter, but errors and errors and errors. I mean, the first quarter was just 2-0 because Indigenous got a penalty right at the end. So obviously, Latrell, or was it Fogarty, I think, who got the first conversion. And then, second quarter was obviously a try to... Who got the try? I think it was Jordan Ricky got the first try, and it was a good try, actually. Jordan Ricky was actually great for most of the match. I think Jordan Ricky was very strong, and I think he's going to show why he can replace David Fafita in that back row for the Broncos this year. Obviously, he was very strong. Obviously, for a young kid, he's really good. He played with a lot of strength and potential, and I think that someone like Jordan Ricky is going to have a really long, successful career, I think, from what it looks like. He really showed, I think, when he was playing for Broncos last year, I think in a small amount of games, he just shows that how much potential, how much promise this young guy has. And even in tonight's game, Jordan Ricky has a big future, I reckon. I think Broncos fans should really get excited for what this kid can provide for the club. So I think Jordan Ricky had a really good game. Also, I think Benji Marshall and Jerome Luai combined really well. I think for most of the 4 quarters, Jerome Luai and Benji Marshall did really well. I think Benji Marshall's defence really stepped up. I think Benji Marshall was really stuck into the game. He was really playing well for Maori, so it's good to see Benji kind of stand up and play well. Jerome Luai, obviously quality player, and he played really well tonight as well. His kicking was on point. Got all the attributes of speed. Got a bit of speed, got a bit of skill, good steps. So I think Jerome Luai had a pretty good game. Who else? Dylan Walker. Now Dylan Walker had a bit of a 50-50 game in my opinion. I think at the start he was getting manhandled by Blake Ferguson, because there was a time where Dylan Walker went down and he got dragged out the touchline by Blake Ferguson, and I don't know, Dylan Walker had a really 50-50 game. I think he was alright with the ball. I think attacking wise doesn't look too bad, but I don't know. He didn't really do well. I don't know. He didn't play bad, but he didn't really fit in the centres. I thought Dylan Walker, but hopefully he plays better for Manly. But yeah, 50-50 game by Dylan Walker there. But who else? I think Alex Johnson's fairly quiet, to be honest. I think apart from that match-winning try, or not match-winning try, but basically the try that made it the draw through Alex Johnson with a nice kick from Latrell Mitchell to Alex Johnson at fourth final quarter. Yeah, Alex Johnson was a little bit quiet, I thought, but did his job, of course. He's a quality winger. So, but I thought he was a little bit quiet in that game. Who else can I talk about? I mean, Russell Packer. At times, I didn't even know Russell Packer was playing. Was Russell Packer even playing? I couldn't even see him. I mean, he didn't really provide much. But I mean, the other front row who plays the Tigers, Zane Musgrove, had a pretty fair game. I think he's a pretty rough player, Zane Musgrove. But look, every player's like that. They're going to show a bit of mongrel roughness. So I think Zane Musgrove is pretty good. Maybe apart from the shoulder charge was a bit of a downfall for him. But overall, Musgrove was pretty strong, I thought, for the Maori side. And yeah, he did really well, I reckon, with Zane Musgrove. Also, the hooker, Isaac Luke. Now, Isaac Luke was a bit of a... He got into a bit of a fight, so Isaac Luke. He wanted to get a little bit stuck into some arguments. I mean, there was a time where he had a fight with Brian Kelly, grabbed Brian Kelly by the shirt and flung him to the sideline. But look, I think overall Isaac Luke, he didn't do much. I think he didn't do much. I think that it's gonna be interesting to see if Broncos will offer him a top 30 spot or not. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I don't know. Isaac Luke didn't have his best games. He could have definitely had a better game, Isaac Luke, but I don't think it was that great tonight. You know, I think both sides are pretty good. I think Maori's attack was always pretty dangerous, but their defence was a little bit suspect at times. I thought on the edges especially. You know, for Indigenous, I thought their defence really held up on the goal, or their goal line defence basically really held up. I think that they worked pretty hard, Indigenous. So both sides are pretty good. I can't see anything bad from either side. Maybe the errors was the only thing that was really wrong from both sides and was a bit disappointing. But other than that, both played really well. I thought both were entertaining. But all the players played pretty well. So look, it was a pretty good game, I thought. Even though it was a draw, a draw's entertaining to see. I think that's good. It's good to draw in a way, so not either side doesn't lose anything. So look, I think it's good to see that them win. I guess it's good to see a really good game of footy from both cultures. I think culture that means a lot for both these sides and all the boys. So good to see that a game like this become really good. But guys, that's in the Indigenous All Stars, this Maori All Stars review for 2021. Hopefully enjoy. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and thanks again for 800 subscribers, guys. Forgot to mention that in previous videos. But then, until then, I'll catch you in another video.